Buddy, my 55-pound German Shepherd, ran to the door like he usually does, barking his head off and driving me crazy. He's usually such a sweet dog, but something about the doorbell turns this cuddly dog into a wicked Tasmanian devil. I always thought it was harmless. Annoying, sure, but harmless nonetheless. What I didn't know was that bad behaviors like this can escalate if you don't nip it in the bud. And I paid for it when I opened the door, and Buddy did something he's never done before. He jumped through my legs and bit the postman on the ankle. I was horrified. The postman was okay physically, but he was extremely upset, and he made it very clear that he was going to sue me. For the next 30 minutes, I begged him not to sue me. I didn't have the extra money lying around, and if it did get to that, the only asset I had is my house, and I'd have to sell it. Not to mention Buddy could get put down. I couldn't even think about that. It was too horrifying of a scenario. Finally, the postman agreed to not sue on one condition, that I get Buddy trained immediately. And boy, did I try everything. Taking him on runs more, shaking pennies in a can, spraying water, giving him treats. Nothing was working. I almost gave up hope, but finally decided to go see a trainer. When I got there, though, she told me it would cost a little over $500 for dog training. $500, I exclaimed. Who has the money for that? She took pity on me and told me to go see her friend, Bryce. Bryce is an ex-military dog trainer who's been training dogs for over 30 years. She told me he created a device that makes training extremely fast and easy for people who don't have any experience. I went to see Bryce and he showed me this device called Pet Gentle that he made. Here's what he told me. Dog whistles are an extremely effective tool and can make training a lot easier, but there's some issues with them. Since they're manual, the pitch sound changes and it's often too quiet, which makes it harder for the dogs to hear it catch on to the patterns. This was a big problem for me when I was training dogs in the military, so I decided to create a device that would solve this problem. It acts like an extremely advanced dog whistle and plays a consistent, ultra-high frequency sound. What this does is, it grabs dogs' attention significantly better than any manual whistle could and gets them to stop their bad behavior in their tracks. It's honestly amazing how quickly it can stop bad behaviors. Although it's loud to get them to stop their bad behavior, it's 100% painless. I have a second dog at home, so I asked him how it would affect my other dogs. As long as you make a point to be talking and gesturing to the dog that's needing a behavior change, then they'll be fine. How do I use it exactly? I asked. It's very simple, since it was made for people with no experience. Whenever your dog is performing a bad behavior like barking at the door, you would get in between him and the door and press the button on the Pet Gentle. I'd also recommend attaching a command to it, like stop. So you can just say that, and you may not even need to use the Pet Gentle after a few times. You'll see him stop what he's doing and look at you. Once he stops the behavior, then you follow up with a treat. So in his brain, the pattern of, when I stop barking, I get treats, will solidify. The best part is this can be applied to any bad behaviors. Barking, digging in the yard, jumping on house guests, chewing things they shouldn't be, and almost any other behavior you can think of. Not long after that, the mailman came by again and sternly asked how the training with Buddy was going. I immediately ordered the Pet Gentle to give it a shot. The last thing I needed was to lose all of my money and home over my dog's training. The thing is, Buddy has never been a biter. He's always just been a barker. If your dog is the same way, then I can't tell you how important it is for you to stop that behavior before it escalates. No one wants to get sued or have their dog get put down for something we could have so easily prevented. A few days after I ordered the Pet Gentle, it arrived, and the next time Buddy ran to the door, I pressed the button and yelled stop one time. To my utter shock, Buddy stopped in his tracks and stared right at me, and I immediately followed up with a treat. After only a week of this, something crazy happened. The doorbell rang, and Buddy just stared at me. It actually worked. The next time the mailman came over, he was just as astounded as I was. That was fast, he said, and asked me how I did it. I told him about the Pet Gentle, and he even said he was going to get one for his routes. I was so relieved to have that weight taken off me, and even used the Pet Gentle to help my other dog stop jumping on friends that came over. If you have a dog that has some bad behaviors that you need to get rid of, then you have to get the Pet Gentle. From everything I've tried and seen, the Pet Gentle is without a doubt the quickest and easiest way to stop bad behaviors.